Good morning and welcome back to Questionable Scale Modeling. We're going to take a look at this. It's actually a German personnel car, but it's also a Mercedes, as in the emblem on the front of the car or truck. It's got a Mercedes emblem, so it's actually a Mercedes L1500A. And this is by Mini Art. And it has nearly 600 parts. It has 467 plastic parts and 86 photo etch parts. Uh, so I showed this briefly in a video a while back, one of my last videos. So this has been sitting in my bench, and I have not touched this since April of last year. So 10 months since I kind of stalled on it. So let's take a look at it because we're going to finish this up while we're waiting for the BMW parts to show. And I've got it, well, let's see how far into it I am. So here is, let me zoom in a little bit real quick. Bear with me a second. All right, we're going to zoom. That should work right there. So here's my chassis with the engine already installed. And let me flip it over. Gotta be very careful. That's very delicate. So if you can see, look at all of that underside detail. Like there's four drive shafts. I'm sorry, three drive shafts. There's one from the engine going to the transfer case, and then obviously the other two going to the axles. All of that is separate. The drive shafts were separate. The yokes going into the differentials, those were all separate pieces. All the springs, everything you see was pretty much had to be built, including the chassis. Like the chassis was multiple pieces. Like right here, this assembly, you're probably looking at over 100 pieces in my hand. And that's only the chassis and the engine. Now, the reason that I put the engine in place, I didn't want to because I wanted to paint it. I wanted to be like a car modeler and paint the engine separately. The problem is there is only two little tabs up front, which you won't be able to see, that are actually holding this engine in place. I actually added a tab right there to hold the back of the engine, or not the engine, the transmission. And then I drilled, like I said, you won't see it, but I drilled and pinned the front of the engine on both sides on those mounts, so it won't go anywhere. If I had painted it and then put it on, it would have never stayed. Any kind of stray movement would have probably broke it free. So anyway, these kits are generally marketed to the armor guys, obviously, since it's got camouflage, and it's a German, basically it's an army personnel truck. Their building style is to build the whole thing and then paint it. Unlike us car modelers, we like to paint everything individually. You can't really do that with some of these. Anyway, so that's the chassis. And since I made the last video, I think these are like, I don't know, this photo etch right here, I lost one. I didn't lose it. It just broke off. But anyway, that goes on the bumper. So we also have the cab, and the cab has my other piece for the front bumper. So the cab is all separate pieces. The floor, you have a floor, you have a left side, you have a right side, uh, you have a radiator support bar that goes over there. There's going to be, I've already added all the detail. Let's see if I can get it to zoom there. I've already got the brake master cylinder up there. I've got, I think that's a horn. There's a lot of stuff up there. Oh, I've got this windshield on there, but it's kind of just loosely on there. It's not actually, I don't think it's actually glued in. We've got a couple of hoops for steps. We got some photo etch in the back already. Get a little closer there. All the wheel wells, those were all separate. Anyway, when I'm building one of these things, I actually do like a car modeler and I build the body first. That way I can paint it, but I never got around to painting it. So now let's look at the directions. Oh, let's see what's in my parts box. So this is all parts that are ready for paint, but I don't want to put them on the vehicle yet. Here we have our tires and wheels. And there are other sections. There's another half to this, another insert that I have not put on yet. Let's see, this is a box of some sort, might be a battery box. Some of this stuff is really brittle. So let's see. Well, I was going to turn my light on, but I think that might cause more glare than it's worth. So this here is a seat, what do you call that? It's the mount for the seat. That's 3 different pieces just for mounting the seat. Like in a car model, that would be molded on the seat. But this way you can actually do what I'm doing, and you can paint this. Oops. You can paint this black very easily, and then you can paint the seat a different color. There's one of the seat cushions. We have there's a jerry can for fuel. See if I can put it in my hand, that might be better. And the jerry can actually has a piece of photo etch that goes in between the 2 halves. And then you have the filler cap and the handle itself. So this is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts to this little tiny jerry can. And then we have, I'm not sure what this was for, but it looks, oh, it's just a jack with photo etch as well. This jack is probably about 5 or 6 parts. And we have a door with the window already glued on and a handle on the inside. There's another door. I didn't put the doors on because I don't know if I'm going to make them open or not. There's a seat cushion. Here is the canvas top. And I was going to actually make the canvas out of different material, but I think I'm just going to go the easy way and paint it. The inner part, all these rails those were all separate. All that had to be glued in place. Now my plan there is once I paint the canvas part, I'm going to go back and try to very carefully paint the uh, the support for the canopy a different color, probably black, but who knows. And then there's a one half of the hood. Here is, I think this is a back seat that's sitting on a little trunk. If I can get that closer. There we go. That's the back seat. And it's like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's so much really good detail in these. I mean, it's crazy. And here's a bench seat support without the cushions on it. And again, this one was 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. I used the interior tub as kind of a jig to make sure everything got lined up properly. There's a couple of more doors. And I'm going to have to start using, let's see, this. I don't remember what this is. But again, you're talking, I think this is might be another seat support, but I'm not sure. But again, multi-parts. And let me grab my tweezers because it's getting difficult. Oh, there's another seat cushion. Now here is, come on. There is the grill. Let me get it off my hand. Maybe that'll make it better. That's our grill, photo etched. And it's bent in the proper angle. It's going to look really cool. I'll probably paint that separately. And just other knickknacks in here. Here's the dash. I'm going to paint that separately before it goes in. And there's the exhaust. Oops, dropped that somewhere. There's a section of the exhaust pipe there. And the other section of the exhaust pipe. And just, general stuff in here. I see a piece of photo etch floating around in here, and I don't know what that is. So that's that. Now let's take a look at the instructions. Oh, this is the back part of the canvas canopy with the back windows. I went ahead and glued it together because I actually, when the model is finished, I want to be able to remove the top so the interior can be seen very well. Now I do mark all of my instructions up because I want to know what I've finished and what I haven't. This is not like on a typical car build. What I will do is the first thing I do is I cut all the parts off the sprues and separate them by what they are: chassis, engine, interior, body. These kits, you can't do that. There's too many parts, and unless you're that familiar with the subject, you're not going to be able to figure out where everything goes. It's just, there's too much. Where is the front? It's weird. Oh, this is it. Okay. So here, do I need to zoom in a little more? Let's see. So there's all the engine. Like that's This whole top part is nothing but engine and assembly. That is a ton of parts. And then down here we have building the chassis. It's got separate frame rails. And then you have to assemble, you have to glue all this stuff in between the frame rails. And when you assemble it, you have to put the rails and all this stuff together at the exact same time, hold it together and glue it, and then make sure it's not sitting funny. Like, it's got to make sure everything lines up nice and even and level. Because if you get this part wrong, you're kind of screwed. Then here's all the um, chassis, the suspension components, drivetrain. There's your differential. The differential has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 components just to build the differential. So very small fiddly details. Like, here we go. One hub assembly on the front axle. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces just for the hub on one front tire. That's insane. Let's see. Then, if I've already glued it in to where it goes, or as far as being ready for paint, I put a red mark on it. I circle it with a pen to notate that I've taken it off the sprue. So when I go back in the instructions, I can look and see if something isn't there yet. That way I don't forget something. Like, I can go through here and say, oh, that one isn't mounted yet. But generally I'll remember. And then here's all of this with a grill. Let's see. Again, I haven't mounted the inner tire part yet, but that's okay. I can do that later. I only took the wheels off to verify that it was sitting on all fours, and it does. Again, I put the engine in place. There's the two, see if I can, there's the two mounts that the engine sits on. And the problem was the transmission just kind of hovers. It's not actually touching anything. So I added that plate or that tab so I could glue it on there. It ain't going nowhere. So anyway, there's the steering wheel and the shaft and everything is already mounted, and it's kind of fun because let me show you this. So, oops. Here's your steering column right there. When you put the body on, that steering column actually does go through the firewall like it's supposed to. Isn't that cool? Like, these are so well engineered. But they're also long builds. That's why I haven't touched this in a long time. So here is building the that's the other thing. So there's another frame on top of the frame, and that actually is mounted to underneath of the body. But I went ahead and glued it to the frame. That way, when I mount it, and that's not going to be body color anyway, so there was no point in not putting it there, because this will all probably be black anyway. So Now here's the body construction, which I basically did not follow the instructions. I went straight to assembling the body parts. I mean, look at all this detail on just the firewall. That is crazy. And then the pedals, there's that jerry can. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts to one little tiny gas can. And then you got more interior stuff. And that's about as far as I've gotten. Here's assembling doors and stuff. This whole back is hollow. This right here is supposed to be this is a door flap. You can, on the real car, it opens up. There's a little space that you can put stuff. These doors were separate, but since it's hollow, there's nothing in there. I left them. I went ahead and glued them in place. And one of the things I did not have the forethought to do is, since I'm going to paint this in a civilian, in civilian markings, this has 6, 7, 8 gun holders, rifle holders. And if I'd have thought about it, I would have removed those and taken them out, because it's going to be a civilian truck. It would have been removed at that point. But kind of forgot about it, and I'm not going to attempt to remove them now, because I think I'm going to make the interior look a lot worse. There's no way that I can file those off without ruining the base, which is kind of it's got a pattern to it. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a pattern to the floor, and if I was to remove and chisel those out, it's just going to look terrible. So we're just going to say they left them in there. So anyway, there's a lot of parts I didn't put on. I still got a long way to go. Like, here's all the guns going in, doors, windows. There's the body going onto the chassis. There's so many parts. But honestly, other than really tiny parts that I can't put on yet, it's pretty much ready to be painted. So that is the Mercedes L1500A German personnel truck. And we're gonna start building it. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.